Jessie J, Tom Jones, Will I Am, and that guy from the Irish group, The Script. It's the penultimate round of blind auditions for The Voice on BBC One, BBC One HD. One of the contestants tomorrow facing the backs of chairs is Jamie Bruce from Headley. Hello there, Jamie, how are you?
Hello, I'm very well indeed, nice to be here.
Yes, obviously we can't say what happened, but you can tell me what the experience was like. I was just saying to you, we'll be hearing it very soon on BBC Radio Berkshire, but I was speaking to Leanne Mitchell, the winner last year.
Yeah.
And you were saying exactly the same to her. It is the most odd experience walking onto that set to sing for the first time.
Yeah, as someone who does a lot of performances, it's very, very different. I'm used to performing at functions and weddings and venues where people are milling around and there's hustle bustle, but this is a big stage with a big set with a lot of lighting where you can barely see the audience, but you know they're there with 4 chairs with their backs to you, and all you can hear is the clicking of your heels, and that's the only sound you hear before you get to the microphone and the band kicks in behind you. So it's quite a daunting experience, but an exhilarating one at the same time. Yes,
because you often see the singers composing themselves, almost like you imagine, you know, Tom Daly before he does a dive, because it is.
Breath,
you
yeah.
really have to.
Yeah.
Cause especially that very first note, you've got to get it bang on, haven't you?
That first note is so important. I think people will see on my audition this evening that that first note is really important to me because it sets the mood for the entire song. And if you get that wrong, it will twist your nerves and it will affect your performance. You have to take that big breath. Almost imagine you're somewhere else. I imagined I was just doing a normal gig to people, and the minute you start singing, then the crowd immediately pick up on that, and then there's the noise, and then that's the familiarity of what I do. But before that, with the silence, it's completely unfamiliar and quite alien, which can rock some people, and we've already seen some people on the show kind of succumb to that pressure and completely lose their ability to sing. It's how you handle that pressure and almost take that pressure and convert it into a great performance.
Yes, and the way they build up to it and everything, and that sort of walk, because you know you see the story as well beforehand, that just sort of adds to the pressure, doesn't it? You know, and the tension, doesn't it?
Absolutely, it adds to the tension for the viewer as well. The slow-mo walk behind the scenes, up the stairs, and how much it means to people. And actually, those VTs can sometimes be put across badly by other shows, but I believe that The Voice have put them across actually beautifully well. They tell a great story that almost gets you more into the character and makes you associate more with the character, because we are just normal people. Some people have had more fame than others on this show this year, but we are still normal people, and that actually just shows the raw emotion of what we're doing and how much it means to us all more than anything.
Why did you do it?
Why did I do it? I've been singing professionally and semi-professionally for 12 years. I entered a competition many years ago called Pop Idol, which spurred me on to, I got quite far, I got to the final 75, and it spurred me to use my voice as a career rather than a hobby. So I set up a couple of function bands, and that was 12 years ago, and decided to take it further, and turned it into a job. I did X Factor a couple of years ago and got quite far into that. And I do these shows on top of other stuff like self-promotion, original bands, but my main living is function bands. But I also substitute my income by doing other work, such as landscaping, carpet fitting. I'm a trained chef, and I'm a doorman as well. So, which you'll see tonight as part of my background.
Wow,
story,
I love that. Did I read something about Bon Jovi as well?
I was in a band called the Velvet Hearts for 5 years. We broke up approximately 2.5 years ago, and our final gig, strangely enough, was to support Bon Jovi at the O2 Arena. So we played it was certainly the biggest gig of my life. And was probably the highlight of my life so far musically, with a great band, fronted by none other than Mr. John James Newman, who was on The Voice last year, 2012. So there are connections all through this industry, and you'll find that in a lot of competitions. People have met in bands or in function bands before, and they don't know they're going for the same competition. It's quite funny. Well, you
brought your guitar man in with you. Oh, by the way, what's your name?
This is... Oh, sorry.
JJ. JJ, nice to meet you, JJ.
This is Mr. Junior Guevara.
Good. And you're going to sing for us. Is this what you're doing on The Voice, or...?
No, this is a separate song. It's a song I love by Daniel Merriweather. It's a track called Red, and it's just a little snippet for you.
Oh, yeah, okay. Well, take it away.
I'm alright, standing in the street lights here. Is that alright? My time on the inside is over. pictures, you don't know their names. Love is me. And I can't do this by myself. All of these problems are all in your head. I can't be somebody else. Took something perfect, painted in red. No sympathy, but shouting out is all you know. Behind the lies, I can see the secrets you don't show. Now you don't know how you're spending all of your days when love is me. You see the pictures.
To the forecast from Cookham. BBC Radio Berkshire. Reading relegated. Here's Tim.
Yes, Reading's goalless draw against QPR confirms both clubs' relegation to the Championship for next season. The Reading Rockets won basketball's playoff championships and is racing at Windsor this evening.
We are taking your suggestions as to convenience stores that Suze can visit this week, including June from Cowsham Park Village, who says the budget in Emma Green is really good. Thank you for that. Carolyn Hurley with me at the Highway Avenue convenience store in Maidenhead. The staff very friendly. I'm in myself there every day. And Charlie in Brattleboro during the course of this week. Next, though, if you're enjoying The Voice on the telly, we'll meet one of its stars, Jamie from Henley. So, Jamie, how's it listening back to that? How was it watching it on Saturday night?
If you listen really carefully, you can hear my heart just about beating out of my chest. It's nice listening to that. It's nice watching it back. With a lot of good friends and family at Magoo's Bar in Henley-on-Thames on Saturday night was phenomenal. Very emotional.
Did everyone know that you made it through, or was it a surprise to some of the people who were there with you?
Close friends knew, because I was allowed to tell them in a sort of circle of trust kind of fashion, and not to tell anybody else. But I'd say probably 50% of them didn't know what was going to happen. So there was a good reaction from people. I actually filmed my reaction and posted a video on YouTube last night. You can see that on my website at jamiebruce.net if you want to see my reaction to the actual audition.
So that must have been like, you know, exciting, almost reliving the whole thing all over again, because footballers say this sometimes. Footballers say you can watch back a game in which you were playing,
yeah,
and will the outcome to be different? You know, will things turn out differently, or be genuinely exciting when you see yourself score a goal or whatever?
I think there's two reasons I was nervous. Is you want to see. None of us see the edit before it comes out, so we do the filming, and obviously, like I said on the day, I can't remember a lot was said to me because your brain just thinks I've done it. But also there's an edit process to go through, so you don't actually know what the final edit is.
Now, how long ago was it made? It must be quite a long time, because Jessie J's got hair.
Well, I think everybody, yeah. I think everybody knows that shows like this have to be pre-filmed. The sheer weight of numbers of 5 days of auditions, you'd have 5 24-hour shows.
When is it?
If it was December was the show that you saw on Saturday night. It was filmed towards the middle end of December.
Okay. And the timetable now is that you're through to the next stage.
The battle rounds. Yeah, the next stage is battles.
Okay, and is that, have they already happened, or are they still to happen, or what's the sort of chronology of it? I know you can't tell me the outcome.
They have already happened, again, because at this stage, well, after next weekend, there will be 48 people still in the competition, 12 per team. Again, because of sheer weight of numbers, it has to be pre-filmed. Obviously, you've got edits and interviews as well, which the public want to see, and all that filming takes a long time to do, and a long time to edit. It's not just the actual performances, it's the preamble, the interviews with your coach, and the interviews with the production team to learn more about you and give the viewers more information. So due to that, it's a long time to edit it, so they give themselves as much time possible. So January was the battle.
Do you quite like this process? Because you've been around the reality TV show thing a few times, as we said, in Pop and X Factor, now The Voice, so it kind of bruised you too much. There must be something enjoyable about it.
I think in this industry, whether you go the reality route or not, there will always be doors shutting in your face. It's a tricky industry, and if you're not able to handle rejection, I would say to anyone, don't go into this industry, because after 14 years, there's been a lot of times when I've thought, am I still valid? Am I still young enough? I've done the reality show thing because 10 years ago it was a little bit frowned upon by the music industry. 2 years ago it was still a tiny bit frowned upon it, but it seems like it's the trend now that people are getting careers of great longevity from TV. So I would be a fool to ignore that. And having tried every other avenue, i.e. managers, having solo projects, having band projects, trying every avenue hasn't worked. So I guess I have tried to go the short route and the route that doesn't lend itself to much longevity, and the quicker route, but it seems like that's becoming more commonplace now for people to go the TV reality route. But yes, I really enjoy it. I love the process, I love filming, I love working with production teams. It's so much more interesting than just doing gigs and building a mailing list. Actually being part of the show and meeting new people and meeting some of the most talented people I've ever met, including 18, 19-year-old guys that are singing to me, and I can't understand where they've got that vocal from. So
really interesting this. So we established earlier on, you were on Pop Idol with Suzanne in 2003.
Yes, many years ago.
Because your experience of the whole reality thing, Susan, is pretty different, wasn't it? I mean, you basically hated the process, which is why you haven't gone back, isn't it? If we took that headline off the story, didn't get the X Factor nearly killed me thing out of it, what is the sort of downside of your previous experiences of going on TV? Because, you know, like Sue, it's not all positive, is it?
No, it's not all positive, and the BBC have been very good this year in looking after people, and not only the people that are on the show, the people that leave the show. Even from the first auditions, you're in front of someone who knows what they're talking about. You're in front of an experienced vocal coach who you will invariably see 7 weeks on if you stay on the show. So it's not someone who comes in for a day, it's someone who's part of the show and helps make the decisions. Now it's someone who knows about music, understands vocals and understands singing. And even at that stage, when there's 50,000 people at the initial audition, 10 at a time filed into the room, if you don't get through on that day, you're not just unceremoniously booted off like some other shows where no one really gives you any feedback. It's just a yes or a no. You are good enough or you're not good enough. With The Voice, they will take the time to tell the people that have got through, okay, thanks very much, and leave the room. But the people that haven't are given constructive criticism. Work on your tone, work on your breathing, work on your pitching. And that in itself makes people leave. They may not have succeeded, but they've got something to work on. And they don't feel like they've been told, you're not good enough.